we're just days away from UFC Perth, Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes, which means it's time for you to break down every single fight on this card, starting with the first fight going all the way up to the main event of the evening. As I just said, Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. A pretty blockbuster fight, I will say. Before I jump right into it, I just want to say this is actually a pretty good fight. Carlos Ulberg been on a heater, and Dominick Reyes has seemingly put his career back on track. Three-fight win streak for him, after a three-fight losing streak. I'm very excited to see what happens in this fight. You gotta stick till the end of the video to see who I'm picking, though. Let me jump right in to the first fight of the night. We've got debuting heavyweight prospects, you can call them. Brando Pericic versus Elisha, Ellison. The Snack Panther versus the Balkan Bear. The battle of the crazy-ass nicknames. Listen, I watched a small highlight reel for both of these guys. We're going in small sample size here. This feels like a Dana White Contender Series prediction for me. Both of these guys have knockout power on the feet. I like Elisha's striking a bit more than Brando's. I think Elisha's striking looks a bit more damaging in some moments, I'll say. And Brando just seems a bit too sloppy for me. From what I've seen, he looks a bit too sloppy. And I think Ellison's going to knock him out in the first round with, an elbow or something. And Brando's going to leave himself open. He might be backing Elisha down to the fence with, a crazy-ass, 1-2 combo that just looks very sloppy. And he's going to get caught with something. And Elisha's going to knock him out in the first round. The Snack Panther beats the Balkan Bear. That's going to be the official pick. I'm not spending much time on this one. Elisha Ellison at underdog odds will be the official pick. Moving on. Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. This is Montague's first fight in the promotion. She's coming from PFL. And Luana Carolina is on a 3-fight winning streak, beating Lucy Pudlova, Julia Stoliarenko, and Ivana Petrovic. Just the who's who of women's MMA. The absolute pinnacle of the sport. Ivana Petrovic and Julia Stoliarenko. People forget, man, Luana Carolina left Stoliarenko crying in the cage. Michelle Montague looks really good, though. From what I've seen in PFL, I like her, I don't want to say striking, but I like her striking base. The way she stands, the way she is able to keep the kind of space between her opponent. She's able to really maintain that space and control that. Her leg kick game is pretty good. I like her movement. And when she really shines, though, when she gets on top of you. And her top game's really good. Her submission game's really good. Luana Carolina is going to lose this fight. Michelle Montague, I feel like, I don't want to say set up. Luana Carolina is definitely a tough cookie. She could make this a tough fight. But when it's on the feet, I see Michelle Montague being too evasive, I think. And she's going to time a takedown. She's going to get her to the mat. Might find a submission, but I'll say Michelle Montague wins a control time-based decision. That's going to be the official pick. Michelle Montague by decision. Moving on to the next fight up the card. Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bodoya. Jamie Mullarkey, man. 2 knockouts in a row. This dude's only 31 years old, but it looks like he's reaching the end of his career. I don't want to wish that on someone, but I don't want to see him continue to get knocked out every time he fights, and I don't rate this dude's chin anymore. I don't trust it. I think Rolando Bodoya is going to knock him out. Rolando Bodoya has had a tough go at it, 3-fight losing streak, but he's fought actually pretty good comp. He just is coming off of a loss to Jai Herbert, which is a good loss. No losses are good, but to lose to Jai Herbert, it's not that bad. He lost to Kanan Song as well, and Chaos Williams was a pretty close fight. But he's not getting knocked out by these guys, He's not getting fucking deaded on the canvas. Jamie Mullarkey, his past 2 fights, pretty bad knockouts. Rolando Bodoya needs a win too. They're both kind of their backs are on the wall in this fight for both of them, but I think Rolando Bodoya is going to want it a bit more, and I would be a bit more confident saying Rolando Bodoya is going to knock out Jamie Mullarkey than I would be to say Jamie Mullarkey is going to win this fight by decision. That's the only way Jamie Mullarkey wins this fight, I think, is a decision win. I don't see him getting there. He has to survive a pretty gritty fight against Rolando Bodoya to win that. So I think Rolando Bodoya is going to put out Jamie Mullarkey in the first or second round. Knockout. Rolando Bodoya knockout in the first or second round. That's the official pick. Moving on to the next fight up the card, which is Colby Thickness versus Josias Musasa. I'm going Colby Thickness, and I'm pretty confident that he wins. I'm taking him as an underdog. I don't rate Josias Musasa, especially after that Carlos Vera performance where he got knocked out and submitted in the first round. How do you make Carlos Vera look like prime Conor McGregor on the feet? That is just abhorrent. I'm pulling out the dictionary here. That is absolutely abhorrent from Josias Musasa. To get hit with I think it was a spinning wheel kick on the side of his temple, and then he fucking got dropped down and put out with a rear naked choke. It was a sad performance by him. He didn't even win his fight on Contender Series by like a KO. Like his name's the KO Wizard. We haven't even seen that of him in the UFC. He's the minus 170 favorite despite getting knocked out and submitted in his last fight. Colby Thickness got a tough debut on a week's notice against Alexandre Topuria. That was a tough fight for him. I thought he was going to win, but Topuria is just too good. He suplexed Thickness, he was too strong. But Thickness still showed good striking. He showed resilience. He stuck it in there till the end. Josias Musasa is not Topuria, guys. They're not the same. I think Colby Thickness is going to win this fight by submission within the first 2 rounds. Levels. He trains with Volk. This guy got knocked out and submitted by Carlos Vera. There's levels to this shit. Colby Thickness by submission in the first 2 rounds is the official pick. Moving on to Andre Petroski versus Cam Rowston. This is an interesting one, man. I always pick against Andre Petroski, I can't lie. When was the last time this dude was knocked out? 3 of his 4 losses are by knockout. Coming off of a loss to Edmund Shabazian in his last fight, which was his first decision loss in the company. He got knocked out by Michel Pereira, Jacob Malkoun. He ran into Jacob Malkoun's hip bone and got knocked out by that. Listen, I'm picking Cam Rowston to win this fight. Look at who he's beat. Dylan Budka, Josh Fremd, Rodolfo Vieira looked terrible in that fight. Looked absolutely terrible. Now they're feeding him to Bo Nickel. We're going with Cam Rowston. I'm not backing down. Cam Rowston is a dog. He showed me that against Brandon Holmes in that fight on Contender Series. Won very quickly. Took very little damage. I see Cam Rowston knocking out Andre Petroski in the first or second round. That's the official pick. 3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. He's getting it done against Andre Petroski. Mark my words, Cam Rowston by first or second round KO. Moving on to Jonathan Micallef versus Oban Elliot. Oban looked bad in his last fight, man. To Sukyon Ko only like 2 months ago too, and he's right back in it, which I don't know if I like that for him. After a loss like that, I don't know if the best move is to just jump right back into another fight. Jonathan Micallef is a dangerous fight, and he just beat Kevin Jousset in his UFC debut, he was spoiling the show for Kevin Jousset too. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, man. I'm fucking someone that rhymes, man. I'm Eminem right now. He beat Kevin Jousset in his home territory, in Paris with the crowd all on his side. Was it in Paris? I might be totally off on that. I think now that I think of it, I think it was in Australia when they fought. Yeah, no, it totally was. Duplessis Strickland too. Yeah, okay. So Micallef was actually the hometown boy in that fight. So just disregard what I said there. But Micallef looked good against Kevin Jousset. Beat him up on the feet. And look, he did look good. And he's got a grappling background to fall back to, which is, from what I remember, that's kind of how Oban lost his last fight to Sukyon Ko. It was more grappling that he was able to be held down and Yeah, 6 takedowns off of on him. Jonathan Micallef will shoot a takedown. He will get him to the mat. And I see Jonathan Micallef winning this fight by decision. That's going to be the official pick. I just closed a tab. I need to reopen that. We move on. Lookboonme versus Alexia Thainara. This is her second fight in the company, Thainara. She fought on Contender Series, took a very short turnaround, and beat Molly McCann. Or it wasn't actually a short turnaround, man. I'm way off. 6 months. 6 whole months. Was not a short turnaround. But she fought on Contender Series, got a good win, decision win over Rose, can say so, and then submitted Molly McCann, twerked all the way around the cage, had a huge celebration. I think Thainara is going to go on a run. I'm calling it now. I think Thainara is going on a run. 12-1 prospect here. Lookboonme is a very tough cookie. She's beaten like actual established names in the women's division. Bruna Brazil, Elise Reed, Denise Gomez, and Estela Nunes are all pretty good. Estela Nunes a bit worse, but they're all up there. They're actual names in the women's division. Molly McCann, the tin can, I don't know about that. But Thainara is going to win this fight. She's at a 3-inch height advantage, a nearly 6-inch reach advantage pretty much. She's going to have her day with Lookboonme. Loma is going to be too small. She's going to have trouble even touching Thainara, and Thainara has a good grappling base as well. I see Thainara winning this fight by a decision. I don't know if she's going to finish Loma, because Loma is she's tough. Like, she's very tough. She knows her way around the cage. Is that a saying? She knows her way around the cage. Thainara is going to win this fight by decision. I don't see her finishing Loma, but I won't be disappointed if she surprises me, I won't be disappointed, but I think Thainara is winning this fight. Moving on to Navajo Stirling versus Rodolfo Bellato. Finally, Navajo Stirling has a finishable opponent. After fighting Ivan Ursulin, I thought he was going to finish Ivan Ursulin. After fighting Tuco Tokos, I'm surprised he did not finish Tuco. Even, if you're watching Tuco, much love, buddy, but Navajo's a beast. This guy's a beast. 6'4", an inch height advantage over Rodolfo Bellato. Bellato's kind of like a stone face, like off-brand Pereira. He's got, his striking's kind of nasty. Sometimes he's able to get a knockout win, but that Jimmy Crute fight, he gassed out hard, and Jimmy Crute put a killer pace on him and got a draw against him. The fact you're not finishing Jimmy Crute is kind of crazy in my opinion, but Jimmy Crute's coming back. He's back. The upkick to Paul Craig, it was an accidental upkick. It was totally illegal. It really rocked his fucking stuff, man. It was an illegal shot, though, so you can't take too much out of that. But he wasn't looking incredible in that Paul Craig fight anyways. He was not looking incredible. Navajo Stirling is going to find a KO win over Rodolfo Bellato, I think. But who knows? Maybe Navajo's just not a finisher. Maybe. But I think Navajo Stirling's going to be able to find a finish against Rodolfo Bellato, find his chin. TKO win in the second round of this fight is what I'm going with. Navajo Stirling, second round TKO. Moving on. Louie Sutherland versus Justin Tafa. I was hoping we lost this one too after the Junior Tafa fight fell out, man. But Louie Sutherland, this dude's on a 4-fight win streak. Looking like a beast, I'm not going to lie. Justin Tafa, 2-fight losing streak, got knocked out by Teixeira in his last fight out. Pretty nasty KO that was. That was like a elbows and knees against the fence. I'm trying to picture it in my head. It was a nasty KO from what I remember. He left Justin Tafa down on the canvas. I could see Louie Sutherland getting this one done. This dude's got hands. He's got a 2-inch reach advantage, 3-inch height advantage. I don't really rate Justin Tafa. I mean, people are acting like this dude's prime Derek Lewis out there. Not the same, guys. Not the same, guys. I think Louie Sutherland is going to be hungry for a win in this slot. This is a massive opportunity for him to break out in the heavyweight division. I see Louie Sutherland finding a KO win over Justin Tafa in the first round of this fight. Call me crazy. Louie Sutherland, round 1, KO over Justin Tafa is my official pick. Moving on to the next fight up the card, which we got Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. I'm actually pretty excited for this fight. This is a very good fight. Slight underdog, Charlie Campbell is. Minus 160 favor for Tom Nolan. 3-fight winning streak. Beat Borshev, beat Alex Reyes, and Victor Martinez. Charlie Campbell, since losing to Chris Duncan on Contender Series. Alex Reyes he beat, and Trevor Peek. I thought Trevor Peek was going to win that fight against him. 3-inch height advantage for Tom Nolan is sizable. Slight, pretty much the same reach, honestly. But Tom Nolan, I rate a lot higher than Charlie Campbell, and I don't even know why that is. Charlie Campbell was looking incredible against Chris Duncan before he got just caught. It was a 1-2, I'm pretty sure, that put him out in the Contender Series. Just right down the pipe, right on the money. Tom Nolan has very nasty striking. He doesn't quit. We've seen him bounce back in fights after he's got caught. We've seen his chin's been tested before. He did get knocked out pretty bad against Nicholas Motta. But since then, he's shown that he can actually take a punch. The Victor Martinez one, I'm pretty sure he got hurt and then he found that KO win. So this dude's ready for a war. Listen, I do really rate Tom Nolan a lot. I think his strikings look good. His game plan's pretty good. The win over Borshev spoke a lot to me. You know, I do really rate that win. And I think Tom Nolan is winning this fight against Charlie Campbell. I think he's going to put out Charlie Campbell too, who, I mean, he got knocked out on Contender Series. I don't know. It's only one time he's ever been knocked out, but I really do see Tom Nolan putting him out in this fight. There's going to be a back and forth gritty war, and I see Tom Nolan coming out on the better side of it. Round 2 TKO win I'm looking at here for Tom Nolan. That's going to be the official pick. Moving on, Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. Jake Matthews, minus 500 favorite in 2025. Is insane to me, man. Absolutely insane. He did look good against Cheaty. He did look really good against Cheaty. That was like a round 1 submission win, I'm pretty sure. That was like super fast in that fight. Yeah, it was like a minute into that fight. He rear naked choked him. Looked very good in that fight. Surprised too. Cheaty really threw that away. I thought Cheaty was going to have a field day against him too. 7-inch reach advantage for Neil Magny. 4-inch height advantage for Neil Magny. You know? I'm just saying Neil Magny could get it done here. And plus 400 odds pretty much is playable. But I'm not going to be the chump to do it. I'm not going to be the chump to pick Neil Magny in this slot. I think Jake Matthews, one, his grappling's pretty good, and that's going to counteract Neil Magny's grappling. I don't see Neil Magny winning a stand-up fight against Jake Matthews. That's not going to happen. I see Jake Matthews winning this fight by decision. Most likely by decision. It's going to turn into an actual fight at some moment. You know, Neil Magny's going to be in this fight in the second round, I think. He's going to show off some of his skill set, but Jake Matthews is going to be too much, too hungry, and he's going to get this decision win over Neil Magny. That's going to be the official pick. Moving on to Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. Jimmy Crute is on. I didn't even realize he was on this card, man. This is a surprise to me. Incredible fight this is. Absolutely incredible. Cannot wait to see Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan on a 2-fight losing streak versus Jimmy Crute on a 1-fight winning streak. People forget, man, this guy submitted Prachnio. Ripped his arm right off the socket. The fact I have to pick someone here it's really irking me. I have to pick someone to win this fight, man. I don't think, in my right mind, I don't think I can pick Jimmy Crute to win 2 fights in a row. I don't think I can do it. And Erslan needs a win to stay in the company. You know, this dude got a call and fought Kutalaba short notice. And then he got Stirling. 2 pretty tough fights in your first 2 fights in the company. Jimmy Crute is like a step down after that. And I get Jimmy Crute's trying to put his career back together. I don't see it happening for him. I think Ivan Urslan potentially could knock him out. I'm going to pick Ivan Urslan to knock out Jimmy Crute in the second round of this fight. It's going to be too much. Jimmy Crute's going to gas out a bit. And Ivan Urslan's going to put him out in the second round of this fight. That's my pick. Man, a lot of people are against me, man. Oh my. A lot of people are against me, man. I don't know if I like that. I'm going Urslan by KO. Moving on to the co-main event, Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Taveras. I'm way off on Jack Jenkins now, man. I don't even know what to think of this dude after his last fight. But let's be honest. Gabriel Santos, pretty fucking good. You know, who would have thought Gabriel Santos actually pretty fucking good? You know, this dude dominated Jack Jenkins in that fight. Made him look awful. You know, the leg kicks, he choked him the fuck out in that fight too. I'm getting all these pictures in my head right now of what happened in that fight. Jenkins got pieced the fuck up in that fight. On the feet, just made to look like a chump. It was, I mean, striking stats are showing it closer. He got taken down at will. Jenkins had a knockdown too, apparently, at fucking one moment. Jeez. Maybe I have to rewatch that one. Maybe I should rewatch that one. But listen, the total strikes are crazy, though. 3-1 on the total strikes. Gabriel Santos beat him the fuck up. Changed my opinion of Jack Jenkins. But listen, Ramon Taveras, he just lost to Davy Grant in his last fight. I don't even think he won that Surrey City fight. I watched it live, in person. I was in the arena. I thought Surrey City won that fight. I think Jack Jenkins is going to have a field day here. Leg kicks, and he's going to have a phenomenal performance. There's going to be a back-to-the-basics Jack Jenkins. Remind everyone who he is. Remind me who he is. Show me why I was so heavy on him to beat Gabriel Santos. He's going to do all that and more. He's going to make Ramon Taveras look like a little chump. And Jack Jenkins is winning this fight by decision. That's the official pick. And we move on to the main event, what we all came here to see. Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. Even on the reach, even on the height. Pretty close in age too. A year older for Reyes, but Carlos Ulberg, 12-1. His one loss way back, Kennedy and Chekchikwu. He did get knocked out by Kennedy and Chekchikwu back in 2021, you know. He was a little too eager, got busted up, you know, kind of gassed out and put out in that fight. But listen, I understand Reyes' 3-fight winning streak. It's incredible. He's back. You know, I understand the hype. I understand the hype completely. You know, Dominick Reyes, this dude beat John Jones. I'm not forgetting, but I feel like there's stuff that people are forgetting about Dominick Reyes. You know? Like, this happened. He's face down 3 times in a row. I understand. He's put together a good win streak. He's looking good. I get it, guys. Listen. This is his toughest fight in his past 4 or 5 fights. Since that Yuri fight, this is his toughest fight he's had. Carlos Ulberg is going to knock out Dominick Reyes, leave him lifeless like we've seen Dominick Reyes in 3 fights in a row. I don't want it to happen, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want it to happen. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Carlos Ulberg is going to win this fight by knockout. This is a 5-round fight. I don't see Dominick Reyes knocking out Carlos Ulberg. I see Dominick Reyes might be feeling himself at one moment in this fight. He might be looking really good. He might be up on the striking numbers. He might be backing Carlos Ulberg down to the fence. 1-1-2. Oh, yeah, I'm Reyes. I'm looking really good. I'm boxing this dude the fuck up. 1-1, boom. Check hook on the chin from Carlos Ulberg is going to knock Dominick Reyes out cold. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want it to happen. I'm telling you what's going to happen. He's going to leave himself open for a check left hook, and Carlos Ulberg is putting him out with a check left hook. I'm telling you what is going to happen. This is the exact strike that will finish the fight. Carlos Ulberg by check left hook on the chin of Dominick Reyes. That's how this fight goes. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to tell you guys. That's what's going to happen. We got Carlos Ulberg, round 2, check left hook, KO win over Dominick Reyes. Let me know what you guys think. That's every fight on this card. I'm picking Carlos Ulberg, man. People forget, man, I got this dude's card to legendary on Real Sports. If you don't know, now you know. Join the group. UFC Genie picks on Real. Now you know. Carlos Ulberg, the old man killer, is going to beat Dominick Reyes by knockout in the first or second round. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's what's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think. That's every fight on this card. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back here for more soon. Thank you for watching.